It's Wednesday, the moment we've all been waiting for. Pork chop day. No need to just talk about it. Let's just go right in. Holy cow. So I think you can see the top of the bin. Let me try to angle this camera down a little bit. I think there's some worms here that just might be wanting some food. What do you think? You think these guys are hungry? Oh, heck, I didn't thaw out their food yet. Well, that's okay. I'll pause and do that part. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. See on the lid, I'm going to have to roll this up because I don't want these beautiful specimens all over the floor. Top castings. Beautiful. I want to try to... Okay, let's try that again. I had a lighting issue, but when do I not? So, I'm going to just move a little bit of this material. I know you can't see all the way to the edge, so I'm going to bring it to you. Just scraping the top. These worms are foraging for anything that might be edible, and I am certain that this bin is 100% complete right through to the bottom. Now, of course, I can't just open the drawstring and dump it all out because then all these magnificent creatures come out with it. And we don't want that to happen. But I'm going to give them a good feeding. And I'm sure all of them are very eager to eat. Again, you can just look at these castings. They're beyond done. They're almost kind of like powder. Very dry again. I did add a gallon of water the last time I did an update. Oh, there's a little blue worm in the middle. I did add a gallon of water because the temperature in the center, here's the center. I move you a little bit. The temperature is so hot, it's cooking this bin now. This is showing it's still right at 100 degrees, which I'm not surprised for the center because it's very compact, very dense. What I have here is a bowl of water. What I expect to find based on my history of doing this or feeding meat to the worms is at this point, let's see, it's been 7 days, 8 days. There's going to be nothing left but a small piece of bone. And I want to be able to show you how little of that bone there really is by, I'm going to dunk the bone in water. I'll move it by then to show you that there's no meat on that bone. I'll get the dirt off it or castings. So I'm digging in the middle here. This is definitely a piece of the bone, a very small piece. But yes, it's a piece of bone. I'm going to put it in our water bowl. Oh, it's warm. It doesn't feel quite 100, but it's warm in here. I'm trying to keep my bending over. Up, here we go. Okay, here's the pork chop bone. I'm gonna brush the dirt off with my hand because it's caked on. Here it is. You can look at what it looked like 1 week ago. Here's the bone. Look at how clean this is. There's some dirt on it. There's no meat. This is just dirt, or castings, I should say. I poured the water mostly over the center because it was so hot. And not only did that moisten the bin all around, but it allowed the worms to move to it. Hey, look, I made a water gun. But this is the bone, folks. 1 week, 8 days after putting in that whole roll pork chop. Now I'm going to put it in the water so it gets a little clean. We can look at it. Now I'm going to continue to dig. Trying to excavate outward so we can get a good look. Oop, I just saw a bunch of cocoons. I just kind of poofed them out to the side. This is, nope, that's just goo. One of the mango pits. Aha, look what I'm hitting. In the bottom of the hole is the worms they were eating from underneath. You can see just from the movement of my hands, the water is swishing around, cleaning that bone, because there's no meat on it. It's simply a bone. So if it was meat on it, it wouldn't wash off, but because it's bone only, it's going to. Now I'm digging deep, not to show you that there's more in here, because there absolutely isn't, but just, look at this. Here's the bottom feeders, even though they're not, right? We have a beautiful Icenia fetida redworm right here. We have an African nightcrawler right here. We have a, let's see, what else is in this pile? Those all look like Africans. Let's see. Let's keep looking. Everything is just crumbly and amazing. By the way, there is absolutely zero meat smell of any kind. Here's a, this is actually, if you can see where the clitellum is, this is a adult Indian blue worm. And it's really blue right now. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm digging around. As you can see, there's no dog, don't hit that, please. There's no remains of any meat. There's no other particles of bone. There's no bedding. There's worms down deep because what I suspect, minus my hidden camera that I don't know how to have, is that they went down the outer edges of the bin where it was cool, went over and came up underneath it to get at it while it was still hot, because they're not patient enough when they're hungry to wait for it to cool all the way down, as you can see. And that's why I'm excavating so deep. There's nothing in here. There's nothing. And I was digging deep to, this is a old piece of cup holder, like drink cup holder. You know, they're not too crazy about that in this bin. Let me move aside our water bowl here for a minute. Of course, I push one handful of castings from the top aside. And this is, I mean, it's just worms and a lot of cocoons. I guess during the starvation time, they were doing other things. Got worms? Yes, I do. And I love them. Okay, so let's take a look at our water bowl here. This is regular faucet water. I just wanted to rinse this a little bit to show you. I'm not going to go through and pick it clean. So here's the bone. Now this is, nope, that's also dirt. Hold on, I thought that was a little bit of meat, but it's not. The bone has no smell. Now I'm going to try to ask my phone to cooperate. Phone, cooperate, please. Okay. want you to look. Hold on, I'm going to pause and unpause. If you look really close at the bone, you're going to see the little holes in it. It's wet, but especially along the edge, that's along my finger right here. Can you see the little holes in it? That's the pores in the bone. And that is telling me that it is starting to break down from the inside. So this is going to be bone meal within a week, probably within a few days, actually, because it's already beginning to break down on the inside. Let's find our other little piece of bone. Let me rinse it off. There it is. This was probably attached right here or something. I don't know. But again, look at this. Look at the definition and the pores in the bone. Not that I'm a bone enthusiast or whatever that would be. Paleontologist. I don't know. Oh, look. Look at this little baby hitchhiker on my hand. No, get me out of the light. Look at how cute. Here, little guy. Go down. But this is what's left of the pork chop after a week. And I said it would take about 2 weeks, I guess because there was no other food in this bin, that it went rapidly. Well, not only is there no other food, but this bin population has gone really, really high. So now let me... All right, I took the camera off the holder so I could show you around. So here's our... Again, here's our bone. I put the 2 pieces down. And I'll throw it back in the water for now. Uh-oh, where'd the other piece go? Well, heck, I don't know where the other little piece went. But let's just look around the bin here. Okay, I don't want to stab myself. I see this is showing here about 78 degrees. It's probably true because I do have a really strong lamp right on that edge. This is a avocado pit. Aha, see, I come up with a way to say mango and avocado without having to apologize. So it's a avocado. And it looks like this avocado is starting to sprout. So, yeah, a 7th avocado. Oh, the first avocado tree. I have 6 mango trees, but I have yet to have an avocado tree. But that's going to be my new word, I guess, since I can't seem to say mango right. Yep, these guys have just eaten and re-eaten. And you know what's interesting is, you see the little blue specks? Even though all the cardboard I use is soy-based ink, if it isn't corrugated, they're not thrilled by it because they could have eaten that. But the corrugated cardboard, they are obsessed about because of the glue that holds the flat panels to the fluted panels. It's a cornstarch based glue, and they eat that. They love it. Let me move our cover. I rolled it up, and because I guess I'm letting these worms going to go on the floor temporarily. Maybe they'll stay. What do you think? They're going to stay? You already made a mess on the floor. Let's see if they stay. Now you can see over here where it was resting. Look at how fine the castings are. And again, any of the paper that's left, a little piece of plastic from something, probably an Amazon package. That doesn't belong in there. Let's get that out. Any of the cardboard that's left is the non-corrugated. Now, I have pretty much eliminated that from my shredding lately. That not because it's shiny. I'm not concerned about the ink. But if it's not corrugated, they don't eat it. They want the corn. They don't really want the cardboard. And, you know, again, this bin has been starving. But what do we see? Red. Must have been something that had plastic on the back. Maybe tape. I don't know. Red, blue, and green, all the shiny stuff. And even though it's soy-based ink, it doesn't have that glue, so they don't want it. And again, as I pull up from the sides, you can see all the worms. They were going downward in the cool zone, and then going across to the pork chop. Of course, all of these worms would have been very disappointed when they finally got there, because there is no pork chop left. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this hanging out by the comfrey root. Because the comfrey root, well here, I just pulled it out. Because these worms are so hungry. They're trying to decimate and pick apart what little bit they can. And then right around the base of it, I can't pick it all up in one hand. Here, I'll just plop it down and we'll look at it. Wow, this is just around the base of the comfrey root. It's way too hard for them to eat, but maybe they're just picking at maybe these little fibrous roots. I mean, clearly they're doing something. And this is every kind of worm right here. You can see by the color, the bands, the shape. This one here, whoop, hold on. Where is it? This one here is, this one's getting close to shedding a cocoon. When they get really rounded, almost oval in the center of the clitellum, and they get that rough edge, rough finish on their band, that means that the cocoon is forming and it's soon to be shed. Also notice it's not spazzing out. They get uncomfortable. Actually, the whole process of shedding the cocoon does not feel very good from what I understand. I've shed babies and that didn't feel good, so I don't think anything giving birth actually feels good. This is so dry. So very dry. Looks like one leaf fell off our comfrey plant. Let me walk around. Actually, let me move this bowl. I'm going to put it over here on top of this experiment bin, because I want to be able to get you down in here with me. Let's see, the blue and the red specks. They've eaten everything, but they don't like that shiny cardboard because there's nothing in it to them. This is so dry. I put a gallon of water in. Okay, here we go. Here's a ball of like this is what would fall out the bottom if it didn't have worms in it. This is just so finished except for the shiny cardboard. This absolutely confirms my decision to get away from the flat cereal stuff. Again, I'm not concerned about the dye. It's soy-based. It's not heavy metal-based anymore. But they don't eat it. If a bin of 10,000 starving worms has left the flat, shiny stuff alone, then it doesn't have any value. Blue, red, blue, red. And these worms are very hungry. Let's see. I'm feeling something here. Okay, we hit something. We hit something. What can it be? Well, besides worms, what can it be? Wow. Trying to see what this is all about. Maybe this was the ticket booth. Maybe you got to get tickets to go get a bite of the pork chop. I don't see anything in here. Let's keep looking. Green. So now we have blue, red, green. I do not know what this gathering is. It's got to still be in the hole. Another piece of blue, another piece of dark blue. Yep, no more flat cardboard for me. They're not benefiting from it. If starving worms literally don't eat it, then it doesn't add value to the bin. I'll just put it in my regular curbside recycling. or I'll bury it in my garden. Oh, look, in between them, in between this hungry ball, is a piece of orange, and they did not eat it. Some cool shots of worms. Worm balls, though. Yep, blue. Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe they're just. I don't know what's going on in here. Some kind of secret meeting, maybe, to retaliate on me for not feeding them. I thought I heard them talking last night when I was trying to sleep. Now I've confirmed it. Yes, I'm crazy. Or not. Look at green. Ugh, I wish I could just pick this out. Now I regret ever adding it. Little piece of eggshell. Yeah, the worms are all down the sides. Maybe there was some, well, not only was that the cool spot, but maybe there was some bits of cardboard down the side. But all this shiny stuff, little green one. Here's some kind of little, is that a sprout or a paper? No, that is a sprout. This is definitely not a tomato or a vegetable I recognize. I did throw a bunch of flower heads from my butterfly bush in here. That may be actually a butterfly bush sprouting. Now, I'm going to turn off one of the two lamps that I have on. I want to see if it makes it a little bit more true to color in here. And I'm going to get on the other side. I hope this wasn't a mistake. Just looks like, to me, the castings look so light brown and they're so black. It's a very rainy day here. Very dark outside, very dreary. So even though I have, so here's the bin. Here's a window. There's a window. There's no natural light coming in today because it's raining. This is where I should start singing the Duran Duran song, Hungry Like a Wolf. I will spare you that horrific sound, but it would be appropriate. That's for sure. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Just so, again, I can give you a peek. And the reason I'm doing all this digging is to show you that there's nothing else. This is a mushy piece of the comfrey root. Finally went rogue. I bet you they're going to be loving that. Looks like they were already starting to love it. And here's another piece. Yeah, they're dining on that. Just showing you, giving you a little bin tour. That there's no secret food pockets or hidden anything or moisture areas. Look, see, blue paper. I don't know what this little green thing is. You know, I had repotted a plant for my son. He had a jasmine plant and he killed it. He kills a lot of plants. And I repotted it over my bin. This was months ago. And I've been finding these little green balls, and I think maybe some of the old soil fell in. It might be fertilizer, so I picked it out and put it aside because I don't want anything artificial in here. I didn't intentionally dump any of the potting soil in here, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. And if that's what it is, the worms certainly aren't going to eat it. Yeah, again, here's some of that drink cup holder. What I found is there is one kind that's kind of glossy, and I don't know if it's waxed. That would make sense because otherwise things could spill and spill right in it, which defeats the whole idea of a drink cup holder. But they didn't touch it. Even when I shredded it, they didn't touch it. So I'm kind of shying away. Here's a really pretty Icenia fetida. Very pretty with his colors right now. I'm actually going to set him aside because I'm doing a project with those. The never-ending projects. So I'm thinking, folks, what do you think? A whole chicken? Leave a comment below because that's what I'm thinking. If that pork chop went in a week, a whole chicken would go in 3 weeks or less because there's a lot more worms. And given the absence of smell this time, what is this? Oh, an old coffee filter. See, and this is what I was saying about my coffee filters. They're not unbleached. I'm convinced they're synthetic because it's not even touched. They didn't even eat all the coffee off this. Back to the chicken. Since there was zero smell at all, none in the house or around the bin, I don't need to bury it as deep. And if I can bury things more shallow in here, then I don't have to worry about the heat up, which means things can eat it quicker. So I'm thinking of putting in a whole chicken and watching how fast that goes. What do you think? All right, I think right now I'm at 179 subscribers. If you guys can share my video, my channel, and get me up to 200 subscribers, I will put a whole chicken in the urban worm bag. So all I'm asking for, 30 more subscribers, and I will take a whole roaster chicken. You'll see it come out of the bag and go in, guts and all, whatever's in there, and I will put it in here, and I will do an update for you once a week or more, whatever you want, viewer's choice. But I want to get to 200 subscribers, not many to do. And the only reason I'm wanting 200 is because there's the community tab where I can put polls and, you know, documents, whatever, files that I don't have to make a video to announce something. And I want to be able to do that. And heck, I think my channel is good enough for 200 subscribers, don't you? I mean, you're looking at the raw pork chop bin. What other channel gives you that? So, help me, and I'll do that for you. So I'm going to back up now. I have stirred this, mixed it, flipped it, done everything, and there is nothing in here, as you have seen. Let me go back and get our bowl of water. I'm actually going to dump this water after I bury the pork chop. I'm going to let them have the water because it's dry. So, again, here's the bone. I'll get us somewhat zoomed in. You can see the little porous holes, whatever, starting to form. So this is on its way to becoming bone meal. There's no meat. And the other little piece, I apologize, but it went. So, all right, I'm not going to bury this in the middle right now. I'm going to leave it in the water. And the reason is I forgot to thaw out food. Here's another that's about to shed a cocoon. You can definitely tell. Absolutely. Poor worm. I forgot to thaw out food, and I want to bury the pork chop in with the food. So I'm going to end this video here, get some food, come back. Okay, it's food time. So I didn't have anything frozen. This is what they're getting. One package of organic strawberries. Just pull these out of the fridge. There's a couple on top that are okay, but the bottom are moldy and nasty. This is 3 organic apples, 1 whole avocado, a mango, my own personal joke, and I had some of these English cucumbers that, well, I think you can see why they're going. I got a little paper and some crushed oyster shell. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to put this neither too deep nor in a big clump. I'm going to kind of just put it right below the surface here. Put the pork chop bone back in it. And what is this? I don't know what that is. But let's give them their much deserved, very well earned feeding. Okay. Oh, this is not my prepared bedding. I actually don't have any. This just came out of my shredder, but it'll be fine. Unfortunately, there is some red and blue, but this isn't from a cereal box. This was from a grocery bag. If you ever use Amazon Prime to shop at Whole Foods, if you have one close enough to you, the bags are colorful, but it does say that everything is soy-based ink and compostable. This one here, yeah, this is a piece of that same bag, but it's a little big. I don't want it in there. Okay, so let's take the whole avocado. They'll get in it. Oh, they will get in it. They will find the weak spot. I'm not cutting anything up. I'm not catering to them. My worms put their big boy pants on, and they're going to have to work for their food. Okay, let's make this pretty. All right, now before I add anything else, let's take our very nicely washed pork chop bone. There we go. Oh, it's a water gun. Let's put it on top. Now again, this is all just refrigerated. Nothing here is frozen. So the walls aren't bursted or nothing like that. Nothing like that is going on here. Okay, I am going to pour this water you can see in the bottom of the water, just from rinsing off that pork chop bone, the crushed eggshells that were attached to it because of the volume in the castings. And speaking of the crushed eggshells, I'm going to put in some of the powdered oyster shells. Now these were supposed to be powdered. They sent me like chick grit, so it's a little big, but there's some pieces that are small enough for the worms to digest. So that's a pretty decent feeding. Got a pound of organic strawberries, 4 organic apples, some organic English cucumber, and an entire avocado. So yeah, I think this will hold them over till tomorrow. Just kidding. Actually, since none of this is frozen, it's very hard. It's gonna take them a while. Yeah, I can't even squeeze it. It's gonna take them a while to get through it. They'll probably start by drilling into the center of these cucumbers, I would imagine, but hey, they can use their little non-teeth and get into it, right? So, let's just bury them up. Not too deep. And, oh, I don't want it exposed because I don't want to get flies. I haven't had any flies, and I've been very fortunate. And the key is carbon. I mean, carbon is what keeps odors away. You know, we use carbon in outhouses, we use carbon in cat litter boxes, we use carbon in the earth. Carbon absorbs odors, you know, carbon filters, carbon water purifiers. So as long as you have carbon over whatever it is that is decomposing, you're not going to smell it. So, okay, folks, well, let me shove our comfrey plant in there. Actually, no, let's put it upside down this time because it'll just grow from the other end. Uh-oh, digging up a piece of the apple. That's okay. So this will just start growing from the other end because you can't kill it. Oh, the apple's coming out. Oh, no. No, the dead bodies are floating to the surface. Quick, bury them back down. She reminds me of a movie. It's a horror movie where there's a flood and all these dead bodies that were buried come floating up. I just can't remember what it is now, but maybe one of you knows what I'm talking about. Or maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. That's always a good possibility too. All right, so I have 3 other pretty unique projects that I have not seen done anywhere else that I'm currently making for you, my wonderful viewers, and any future viewers. Again, 200 viewers, 200 plus they have to stay subscribed for a week, because I don't want to say, oh, if you want to come see this, subscribe, and then they subscribe and leave. I want people that are genuinely going to stay to my channel because they're interested in the content, not just a one-time thing. So get me to 200 subscribers. If I have 200 subscribers or more for a period of 7 days, an entire whole roasted chicken goes in this bin in my family room here, which is where I'm at. And we will do, you tell me how often you want the updates done, and I will do them. This is going to be viewer choice. So I'm excited about it. How excited are you? Let's see what happens. Please leave your feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down, questions, comments, complaints, whatever you feel below. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your day.